Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today, doing the recap of the Saturday, October 16th, DAZN main event that saw Mikey Garcia get upset by Sandor Martin in a catchweight bout at 143 pounds. Heading into the fight, I mean, it's so funny. I just talked to my best friend, Sal, giving you a heads up here. I just talked to him earlier that evening, and I told him, he was asking me what kind of fight it was, because me and my wife wanted to go to that fight in Fresno. We wanted to be there. And, I decided against it because Martin, one, I don't really follow the smaller guys, the flyweight title fights. Not really into those divisions. I don't really follow those. But the main event, Mikey, I love Mikey. I think he's a great fighter, but the dude he was fighting, I was like, this guy's done nothing. He's a nobody. I really, things are tight right now. Didn't really want to waste my money on going to a fight card that really didn't have one guy didn't really have a chance in hell. And man, was I wrong. Sandor Martin came out of nowhere though. This dude, no legitimate fighters on his resume and no legitimate wins. So, this guy went in a big underdog against Mikey Garcia. This might be the upset of the year, to be honest. It really might. Sandor Martin, it was a catchweight of 143. He just came in, southpaw, and just boxed. He really did just box. And Mikey, it wasn't the same Mikey. Mikey, when he couldn't figure something out, he didn't make those adjustments that Mikey knows how to make. And that's what I like about Mikey. Mikey really knows how to make adjustments and figure out how to hit you from different angles. And, and I just thought he would make an adjustment at some point after a few rounds when Martin was tagging him coming in. Martin was hitting him with that left, as Mikey was coming in. And I was kind of surprised. I don't know if it was rust or just overlooking a fighter, but Mikey just did not make the adjustments to Sandor Martin. But one thing that they said is, Mikey's comfortable fighting southpaws. The two of his last three opponents have been southpaws. Okay. One of those was Errol Spence, and he got the shit kicked out of him. So I'm like, I don't know if he's comfortable fighting them. Maybe he's not afraid to get in the ring with them. That's one. So if you want to, equate that to being comfortable, okay. But he was not comfortable at all with Sandor Martin, this southpaw. He wasn't. And Mikey went in and, he was trying. It wasn't a blowout. It was a close fight. I personally didn't score the fight, but, I could believe that the rounds weren't blowout rounds. Martin was doing just a little bit more, but it was close enough to where when the final bell rang, I wasn't going to be surprised if Mikey walked out of there with a close decision. It was one of those kind of fights. They were in a pro-dominant Mexican area in Fresno right there, and I was like, I'm not gonna be surprised if this dude pulls it off, and if Mikey walks away with the win. But Sandor Martin, majority decision over 10 rounds, huge victory. Mikey didn't really say he wanted an absolute rematch. He said maybe, and we're gonna see what happens. But you know what, one thing I will say is Mikey was talking about who he was gonna fight after this. And my thing is this, guys, Manny Pacquiao made this mistake against Ugas, and Mikey Garcia made this mistake against Martin. If you want to say that shit early on when the fight first gets made, fine. And then you spend the next 2 months focused on the dude in front of you, wipe his ass out, and then you come back and after the fight and be like, hey, this is who I want, this is who I'm focused on now. I'm okay with that. But Mikey did the same thing Pacquiao did just days before the fight, the week of the fight. And I know he gets questioned about this stuff. He starts talking about, I want Josh Taylor, I want Regis Prograis, I can still make 140, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to fight this guy, I want to fight that guy. And I remember just it popping in my head going, man, I hope he's not overlooking people. I am the guy that will call guys on overlooking opponents, because a lot of guys just want to chalk losses up to, oh, he just wasn't good enough. No, there's plenty of guys that overlook their opponent. I mean, it has happened since the beginning of time in boxing. I have seen guys overlook their opponent and lose because they overlook their opponent. It happens all the time. You know, and I very much am going to say that Mikey, I believe, overlooked Sandor Martin, and he paid the price for it. But congratulations to Sandor Martin coming over to the United States for his first time and beating a truly elite fighter in Mikey Garcia, former 4-division world champion. I still think Mikey is very good and, you know, and very talented and very smart. Mikey's always been a smart fighter. That's what I like about Mikey, was the way he used his mind in the ring, you know. But this time, it wasn't enough. Suffered a second defeat, and we're going to see what these two guys do going forward. But Martin says he wants to fight at 140 going forward, so I'm going to rank him at 140. So he will get his own what's next, and Mikey's going to get his own what's next. But tough loss for Mikey Garcia. We'll see what happens, you know, with these two guys going forward. But an interesting and maybe the upset of the year. That was the recap from the DAZN card, Saturday, October 16th. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You've been hit with the truth. True boxing, you've been hit with the truth.